We are right now in Leh. With me, one of the known personality, environmentalist Sonam Wangchuk ji. I'll be understanding like what's happening on ground and how the movement have been going on. Sir, thank you so much for your time, sir. So I want to understand like how are you feeling now because of recent 21 days of fast. Sir, how's your health now?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm totally recovered. I lost 11 or 12 kgs, but gained a little bit, and it was 21 days and later 3 days, so 24 days of fast.
Is it about like the protecting the Himalayas and glaciers of this region as well, or it's only about the state you are focusing on?
Well, the Himalayas are composed of various regions, so if each region is taken care of, then Himalayas will be taken care of. Ladakh is an important part of it where we happen to live, so therefore right now our focus is on Ladakh part of the Himalayas or Trans-Himalayas, but we are also speaking for the whole region.
We have seen the tourism is consistently increasing in the region. So what is the like sustainable solution you have right now?
So tourism is increasing, but it need not be damaging at this level. It's 5 lakh tourists maximum recorded. But Ladakh is 50,000 square kilometers. It's very large. So if managed wisely, you can easily reduce the impact. The carrying capacity can be increased. But when it is mismanaged, then these 5 lakh tourists are not supported by 50,000 square kilometers, are actually in the Leh city with 5 square kilometers. 5 square kilometers, 5 lakh tourists in 5 summer months. This is destroying the place, not the number. So therefore you have to redistribute tourism. Have them scattered in Kargil, in Zangskar, in Nobra, so that Leh is not the only place. Take the economic benefit to all the other regions. Dras, Kargil, so many places could do better with tourism. Then you don't have such damage. Similarly, spread it out in time. Like in space, geography, you also spread it out in time. Don't make it a 5 summer month phenomena. Make it 12 months. Have winter tourism, have spring tourism, autumn tourism, so that there is a balance and it's a stable livelihood for people. Tourists will have a better time. Place will have less damage, and you can accommodate easily 2 to 3 times more tourists. So 5 lakh can be 1 to 2 million if it is distributed properly. So the problem is not from tourism, I feel. Problem is from mismanagement of tourism.
I just want to understand from your point of view, sir, why do you believe that 6 schedule is really important for Ladakh?
There are 2 levels of democracy. One is statehood, like you mentioned, which is the macro part. When the budgets for the whole region annually, who decides? It should have involvement of public representatives. So there is no assembly right now. It's a UT directly controlled from Delhi. So people who have to live their lives here have no involvement. Okay, then at grassroots level we are talking about 6th schedule. Now 6th schedule is an provision in the Indian constitution which gives local indigenous tribal populations the right to make their own laws when it is about their own land, forests, social customs and so on. So people who have to live their lives here, people whose mistakes will affect them and their children, should be at the helm of affairs, and not people who have no consequences whatsoever of what they do during their office time, right? So it's a beautiful provision. It's not about stopping this or that, but it is about giving indigenous people the right to decide how they want to manage the place. And because people who are indigenous to the place will be most sensitive about the future of their place and their children. So it can be assumed that they'll take good decisions. Yeah, better than by somebody who has nothing to do with the place. And that's why we assume that when there is a safeguard like 6th schedule, which gives indigenous people the right to say yes or no to certain kind of development, they'll choose better than others. And therefore, they'll keep the land, the people, the cultures more in mind, and its sustainability and its longevity.
What are the like major concerns of the people of Ladakh when it comes to the future industrialization in the region? Like, what are the major concerns of the local population?
Various. One is to do with land, environment, culture, demography. So when it is environment, we are already facing challenges. Water is becoming more and more erratic. We depend on glaciers, which are very fragile. And when industries come, these melt much faster. Already with highways even, which is not heavy industry. There are researches that show that glaciers near the highways are melting much faster, so they'll have no water left. Now, if heavy industries come, all the others will go in no time, which will be suicide for the local population, but also much of the northern Indian plains, because people depend on water from these mountains when you farm in UP or Punjab. So your future is as unstable as ours. Ours is more quick. Similarly, it's about land. Industries can take kilometers and kilometers of land, and it's already happening with just a solar power plant. Our nomadic shepherds are losing their grasslands, their pastures. So land, there's a lot of insecurity about, because if these industries capture the land, then where will the local nomads go? They'll have to sell all their goats, yaks, and become menial laborers in those industries or in the city. That's not what development is supposed to be for the indigenous people. Similarly, demography. With each of these industries, there'll be lakhs of people brought in to build it up and to run, because we are a small population. So very soon there'll be people who are not adapted to this kind of ecology. People here live on 5 to 10 liters a day. Now, if you have 3 times the population that need 5 times or 10 times more water, there'll be nothing left for anybody. Similarly, their culture will be gone. Their decision making will be gone, because no longer governments or assemblies will be as per their wishes of the indigenous people. So their culture will be gone. So all these are bothering them.
So I want to understand what other major factors are particularly for the behind the reason for the melting of glaciers. We know like the glaciers we have, like, and particularly we are building roads in these regions. So what other factors we have? Is it the rising temperature also contribute to somehow with the glaciers melting?
No, that everybody knows that climate change is happening with global warming. What people also know is that in the high Himalayas, that rate of rise in temperature is much faster. So that is always there. That is doing its damage. Add to that, what recent researchers have shown is that it's not just global warming from how the Americans live or the Chinese do or the Europeans. It's also local black carbon from your own area or the foothills. That includes even the fire that people make to heat their houses, or the diesel vehicles that belch smoke, which all goes and sits on the glaciers. So this is called the black carbon effect. This is recent, in the last 10 years, and they are melting the glaciers even faster. So these are, when there'll be bigger industries, it will be even faster.
The people of Ladakh are totally depends upon like snow and ice, right? So there has been consistently melting of glaciers. So what are the like concerns, and how we are going to do something for this to save particularly the glaciers in the region? Like what's your suggestion for this?
There's very little chance. The best way to save is to preempt proactively. There's very little you can do once you have lost. So the solution is to sensitize the people about ecology and make people who it hurts make the decisions about how this place should be managed. Minimize heavy industries, live in balance with nature, live on inner contentment rather than exploiting external resources. So these are going to be answers, but not like fix it with this machine or that machine.